Hi everyone, and thanks for joining today's webinar about Wordapp.com. My name is Jorn. I'm one of the co-founders of Wordapp.com, and I'm holding today's webinar. Normally this is run by one of our English Elite Wordappers, Linda in this case, but Linda just moved to the UK and her internet connection is still terribly bad. So she asked me if I could run today's webinar. We have a lot of things to go through. The main goal today is for you to learn how you can actually get started writing without having to do all the survey tasks and what your exact roadmap is, how you can become part of one of the Elite Wordappers teams, but also how you can become your own Elite Wordapper in Wordapp. So let's get started. If you have any questions, please just ask them in the chat or ask to be unmuted and we can talk about it as well. And we'll see where we get with this whole webinar. So why Wordapp.com is the best? So if you're a freelancer, you have plenty of choice of different companies to work with, platforms to work at, and all kinds of things like that. With Wordapp, we're not an agency. We used to be, but we're not anymore really. You can be an agency in Wordapp though. Elite Wordappers, one of the things they do is they actually run their own clients in the Wordapp platform that we provide them or that they come up with them themselves. Second is that we don't really do the supply and demand thing that you see a lot on the other platforms. The thing is, freelancing, there is always plenty of supply of freelance writers.
You have to listen to it.
There's plenty of supply of freelance writers, but the demand is going up and down a bit. Sometimes you have very big projects going on, sometimes you have absolutely nothing there, which is okay. So what we teach you at Wordapp is how you can make money online with your own website. So we provide every Elite Wordapper with at least one website that they run, that they operate as a business, really. So what we are all about is scaling yourself so that you use your time the best way you can. You learn something, then you train others to do the same thing, and that is how you start to become actually your own company within the Wordapp platform. So I'm talking a bit about these Elite Wordappers. So an Elite Wordapper is basically a freelance writer like anyone. The only thing is they have gone through all of our training courses and they have learned exactly how to work within the Wordapp platform, ordering text, building websites, working with SEO, working with search engine marketing, working with WordPress and things like that. They run their own clients. Some they bring in themselves, but also clients that contact Wordapp directly get assigned an Elite Wordapper. And they also run their own website. Oops. And by running their own website, they really practice the skills of what it takes to run a website and how to make it profitable. So the big thing, of course, is for our clients, I mean, all of them want a website that ranks, that gets traffic, that converts. And since Elite Wordappers know exactly how to do this with their own website, they're a very good fit to our clients. The most important thing, of course, to do this all with a team of people. That's where you guys come in when you just get started in Wordapp. You join the team as an elite, from an Elite Wordapper and you start writing with them, learning from them and seeing how things work so that you become your own Elite Wordapper later on. It's not for everyone though, becoming an Elite Wordapper in Wordapp. First off, you need excellent writing skills. So basically, I mean, you cannot make any mistakes when it comes to language. Your grammar, your spelling, I mean, the way you write, it all has to be really good. Second, it takes continuous learning. So you need to become an expert in WordPress, in search engine marketing, in SEO, in all of the things that come by running a website on the internet. And this is something that you cannot just sit down for 100 or 200 hours and learn. It is really something you have to continuously work on, and things change in the industry, things change in Google, things change in WordPress. You have to stay up to date and work on this. Third, it needs to fit your lifestyle. So you can work from anywhere forever. You don't have to be in a certain place in an office. We see, of course, that this is especially post-corona, how the entire industry is changing. So Wordapp fits in that really nicely, where you can work from anywhere. And fourth, you need to train your own team. So if you don't know how to talk to other people, recruit other people and train them, you will never really become an Elite Wordapper in Wordapp. And The thing that you will see a lot in Wordapp is that you need reward points. And what reward points are is they are basically Wordapp's currency. So the demand from clients that we work with is always limited. We have over 25,000 writers in the system. We will never have enough work from clients to provide all of you guys with enough work and therefore income to actually be happy. But what Elite Wordappers do is they can create their own demand by running a website. And they use the profits of that website to pay for your editor, for your publisher, for the website, for the hosting, for the advertising, all the things around it. And that is reflected in reward points that they can give. So reward points, they're really, really a currency. The first way that most people start by getting reward points is by completing survey tasks. So we don't earn actually anything on survey tasks. When you complete a survey task in Wordapp, you get some money for completing it. And the money that we earn, we put it in a training fund. And we allow Elite Wordappers to use that fund to train more people in a safe market. And so that, I mean, it's a self-funded system. Second way is by recommending people to Wordapp. If you check our career site or you check our LinkedIn or Facebook, you see that we're always looking for developers or people in specific language skills. And if you recommend people there and we hire them, we always pay out in reward points as well so that you can quickly get started in Wordapp and actually build your own sites. The third way, and that's the way we're talking about today mostly, it is getting reward points from Elite Wordappers. So any Elite Wordapper that runs a website, they get a training budget, and usually it starts with 200 reward points. And you can earn them by joining webinars. So today's webinar, if you're joining live, you will get 8 reward points so that you can write a blog post with that. But also by helping the Elite Wordapper rank and optimize their website. That can be by writing text, it can be by writing guest posts and publishing them somewhere, it can be by liking their Facebook pages, sharing your things on social media, all these things that the Elite Wordapper needs help with. If you help them with that, then they can reward you with reward points that you can use as a currency in the system to get training. And this is also that the training is basically self-funded so that we can train as many people as want to be trained. So the roadmap there is that since you're joining this webinar live, you will get 8 reward points to open a blog post. And you can write that post. It is very short. I think it is about 300 words. You share your post on social media and the payment for it is near nothing. It's €1. It's really for you to show that you have good writing skills and that you know what to do there. In a few minutes, we'll talk about one of the blog posts and we'll review a couple of blog posts to see what other people have written this week so that you can learn from that and improve and write the perfect blog post yourself. After you've written a blog post, if it is perfect, you will be invited to write 2 clinic reviews. Or if it is not approved and you're not invited, you can continue earning reward points to work on the blog post until you manage to convince Linda, who's your Elite Wordapper on this project. So for the clinic reviews, you need 20 reward points to open one. You get those if your first post is okay, then you right away get 20 reward points to write a review. And you get another 20 points by liking the site's Facebook page. And if you do that, you can write a second review as well. Again, payment on this, near nothing. It's 500 words. You only get paid €3 there. This is really only for training. It is the Elite Wordapper who is basically financing it. So they are donating their time. They're not getting paid a lot either. They're making sure that if you are a very good writer, that you can get a chance to prove that, help the Elite Wordapper out so that you can be invited to new projects afterwards. Next, so the reward points you need in English for blog posts, it is always 8 reward points. For clinic reviews, it's 20 reward points. And if you want to build your own website, you need to earn 120 reward points. So anytime you write a blog post, you hand in the reward points to get the reward blog post, and you start with those reward points deducted from your balance. So to get 120 reward points, you need to do quite some work. But especially if you recommend people or if you really help the Elite Wordapper out by ranking their site and generating more traffic, generating more conversions, it is fairly fast. So it is really about helping the Elite Wordapper out with things that they need. So make sure you have good communication going with Linda, and you can reach Linda from the chat anytime, and help her with the things that she needs so that you can get the reward points there. So these are not only the Elite Wordapper principles, but they're also very much the Wordapp principles that we abide by. One, it is quality. So you can never really have a bad day in Wordapp. We always need perfect quality texts. So if you have a bad day, your head is not there, please don't write that day. Don't do whatever you want to do. I mean, go do something else, because quality is something that we will never, ever accept anything bad in. If we get bad quality, the Elite Wordapper itself, if we get bad quality from an Elite Wordapper, but also within an Elite Wordapper team as a writer, if you deliver bad quality, you're out. There is really no second chances there. So make sure that your texts are always perfect. No spelling mistakes, no grammar mistakes, and that they follow the instruction. Second, the principle in Wordapp is always to pay it forward. So anything you learn, you teach others so that they know it and they can teach it to other people again. This is how the whole system works and grows. And together with the reward points, it is a self-funded system there, so that anybody who wants to invest the time has a chance to do that. You don't have to invest anything else than your time in Wordapp. You don't need to pay for websites. You don't need to pay for anything. The only thing you need to do is time. If you want to spend that time, you will be able to become an Elite Wordapper, get your own budgets, get your own teams, get your own clients, and all the things like that. And that also goes very much with the third principle: school is never out. Meaning by that is that our websites, our clients, and all these things, they always need to keep running. You can take a holiday, no problem at all, as long as someone is there to take over from you. So if you're working with an Elite Wordapper, make sure you communicate with them well so that they know about your availability, know what is going on, so that they can count on you with the deliveries that they need. And if you have other people to take over for you, perfect. I mean, it's just an extra step closer for you to become an Elite Wordapper in the system as well. So after your training projects, where the payment is very, very limited, you actually can start working directly with an Elite Wordapper in the system. So Linda is an Elite Wordapper for hairlinetransplanturkey.com. That is her own website. She also has clients that she is working with next to that as well. And even if there would not be any clients, Linda has a €300 budget for writing, editing, and publishing in July, where she can spend it on the people that she wants. She can write all of the text herself and make €300. But of course, the smart thing to do is, and what she is doing is outsourcing part of that work to other people. So instead of her earning the €300, she works on improving the site speeds, improving the conversions on the site, getting better things up there so that her budget will actually increase month over month. So this is all money that is being earned by the website. So if the website is performing very well, it's ranking, it's getting a lot of conversions, a lot of new sales coming through from that website, this €300 budget can become €1,000, it can become €2,000, and more like that. So this is really the paying it forward thing. So if Linda would do an entire blog post of 300 words by herself, she would make €7.50, where she is the writer, the editor, and the publisher. Instead, what she can do is she can have other people that went through the training that she trusts, that she thinks is very good writers, do the writing for her. So you get €4.50 as a writer for the blog post. Linda only makes €3 on the editing and publishing. But because she has extra time to spend on improving the site and making it better and making sure that there's more conversions there, her budget will go up. And of course, the writing is what takes most of the time. So by doing that, she has extra time to improve the site and increase her budget for the site month over month and work on new clients and things like that. So after your training project, you will see that your payments go up quite a bit. But the only way to get into this is where Linda, in this case as an Elite Wordapper, doesn't really have any work on you. If you're writing text, they should be perfect. And that's why we have those training projects to check for that and make sure that everything is good there as well. Besides blog posts and clinic reviews, there's a lot of other text we're doing as well. Destination text, other websites, I mean, all kinds of things. So the payment for those, I mean, the longer the text becomes, the more research that is necessary, the higher the payment for each text will be. So what I want to do now is I want to look at some of the texts that were delivered this week, just to give you guys a bit of an idea of what we look at and what is actually going on in Wordapp. So for the blog post, I've written a bit the steps that I go through when I look at a text, just to see a bit, I mean, how I think and how Elite Wordappers in Wordapp think about text. The first thing is, of course, language. If I see any spelling mistake, I mean, then you get it back, you have to fix it, and there is no way that you will ever be able to work on any of my projects if I get text that has spelling or grammar mistakes in them. Second, I look at the meta title and description. And we'll go through an actual text in a minute just to see what they look like. The third is I scan the headers. I want to see what this text is about and if it actually intrigues me to read the blog post. Fourth, I look at the keywords, so they're used naturally in the text. So when you're writing in Wordapp, all the keyword density and the SEO rules are actually prepared to you by the Elite Wordapper, so you don't have to think about those too much. We have a lot of courses on Wordapp/courses where you can learn how to do this yourself, which is quite helpful, and it is very necessary if you want to become an Elite Wordapper yourself too. But the keywords that are in the template, you have to use them naturally. Five, I read the text and I make sure, since it's a blog post, is it engaging, interesting? Is it really something I want to read where I learn something new? I've read too many blog posts in my life that, I mean, are all the same, don't tell me anything. They're filled with fillers. I mean, it's really not interesting. That's not the kind of things that I would publish on my site. It's also something that Linda would never publish on her site, and therefore you would never be able to work with her and her team. Also, clients Linda are working with, obviously they want perfect quality texts that are interesting and nice to read, that actually teach me something. 6, for the blog post, they need to be connected to the site. So if I'm reading a blog post, there needs to be some kind of call to action in the end. I mean, why did I read this blog post? What else is there for me to do on this site? And that can be anything. You have to look at the site and see what is going on there. In the example, we'll look at it a bit. And the last thing, most of the blog posts that we do, they have an image. So I'm looking for an image that fits with the blog post and it is actually shareable. So we don't really want stock images or images that really don't fit with the text. And sometimes that means that you actually have to do a little bit of work for that. There is amazing tools online like canva.com or just a simple paint program on your computer. Create a blog post that is a bit interesting and easy for people that actually supports the blog post, instead of just taking a simple stock image, sticking it in, not thinking about it anymore. So writing a 300-word blog post, it takes some time, it takes some practice, it takes some actual getting used to. But if you write perfect blog posts, you will get a chance to also start writing the clinic reviews. So the clinic reviews we'll look at an example in a little bit. Same thing there, language mistakes, absolutely not done. If I see a language mistake, you're off my project. I'm not working with you. Anyone can make a mistake sometimes, but it really shouldn't happen. Make sure that you proofread your text before you submit it. Check that the sentences flow nicely. Read it out loud in your head. Make sure that everything there is good. Second, again, the meta title and the description, then the headers, the keywords. And for the clinic reviews, especially the paragraphs, they should be descriptive. So we're reviewing a clinic in this case. And they also need to connect a bit to the macro level. So why is it that these things are, why is this clinic good? Why is this clinic bad? So compare it to other clinics in the country, other clinics in the world, I mean, whatever is going on there, so that the reader can actually make a decision on whether or not they want to work with this clinic. So I'll just close the presentation for a bit and head over to one of the blog posts that was delivered this week. So I'm in Wordapp now. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Wordapp already. If not, check one of the courses that is available. So this text is about the Ludwig scale, which I know is a scale that works for women to determine the amount of hair loss. So just going through our list here. Language, I'm not going to read it through entirely now, but seems pretty okay. First tag. This one is, of course, a little bit weird, like question mark point, but I'm not native English. I'm letting Linda decide that whether that is good or not. So meta title and description. The meta title and description, this is the first thing that shows up in Google if your page is actually ranking. So this is this is the only thing that the reader will see before they actually decide to continue reading your text on the website itself. So if this is not good, then nobody is actually going to read your text. So the meta title here, Ludwig scale, is your hair loss a phantom or real? And then, not sure if your hair loss is a phantom or real, check out your true hair loss situation using the Ludwig scale. We are here to inform and help you. Meta description, pretty good. It has a nice call to action. Okay, I mean, I need to read this page if I want to know if my hair loss situation and measure it on the Ludwig scale. The meta title, good keyword is in there, but this doesn't really entice me, I mean, to figure out what is going on. So it should probably have something more information about, I mean, what is the Ludwig scale? It's actually a scale to measure hair on a female head. And then the meta description would explain why it is that they need to check our website. So then the headers, where does your hair fit in? Okay, clearly it's a scale, makes sense. What is female pattern baldness? Badness, so spelling mistake, very, very bad. So this text, I mean, it's going back, this writer, very little chance that we will see her in any projects coming through soon. Should you simply accept hair loss? Okay, so here we're going to bit into a call of action, and then receding the Ludwig scale. Not sure if I really understand that. So I think the headers here, okay, especially this one fits in very, very nicely. This also not too bad, but here we get into a bit, I mean, I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Then keywords. So the keywords you can see, of course, under the rules. So Ludwig scale is here. It seems to be pretty naturally in the entire text. Also in the paragraphs, it's used early on. So it actually explains me right away what it is, and that is really, really good. Imagine that when you're a writer and you get a text, then the only thing you really have is the keywords or several keywords and nothing else. The headers you have to write yourself. You have to really come up with a text that is interesting and good to read there. So overall, this entire text here, image pretty stocky, has nothing to do with the Ludwig scale actually. At least it's a female, that is good. But for me, this text, it wouldn't pass. So one, of course, there's a mistake in the language, but also the rest of the text, it's not terribly good. So when you're writing a text, this is an example of how not to do it. I hope next week when we do this webinar again, that we will have one of your texts where we actually are very, very happy when we're reviewing it. So the next one is, of course, the clinic review. There I have one as well. Let's see. Oops, I need to move some things around. Again, metas, Vera Clinic hair transplant, few hair transplants. This meta title doesn't tell me anything about that this is actually a review. Why I should read this review, I mean, what is actually going on here? So, of course, we need to have review in here somewhere. The keyword is probably Vera Clinic review. And it needs to tell me something about, I mean, why should I check this out? I mean, do I gain anything except reading the review? Or there's probably more reviews out there. I mean, why should I click on this site to actually go and read it? Meta description, a look at the Vera Clinic hair transplant in Istanbul. Good. Read our Vera Clinic for more information of the surgeons and treatments available. Not terrible. I think it is actually quite good. It has some external keywords as well, like hair transplant in Istanbul, which is very good. It's missing the, no, actually, I think the meta description here is quite nice. The text itself, of course, there's a lot of info here. And the reason we're not talking about call to actions or anything when we're reviewing this clinic review is because it's all done on the page already with the design. So spelling and grammar, not going through it right now, should be perfect, of course. Headers, Vera Clinic review, hair transplant clinic Turkey. Okay, so Vera Clinic hair transplant. I mean, I guess this is review, Vera Clinic review. Here, Vera Clinic, a hair transplant clinic in Turkey, just to make it clear like where these guys are, and an extra keyword in there. White shoes, yeah, that's good. But then Vera Clinic, hair transplant clinic, Turkey. That does seem like a good sentence, really. Treatments, yeah, okay. Again, Vera Clinic, hair transplant clinic. That doesn't really sound like a name, like what it is. There's some FAQ sections here. Does Vera Clinic offer any extras? Perfect. This is something that I really want to know. I mean, is there any extra treatments or things like that? What is the PRP treatment that Vera Clinic offers? Okay, yeah, I mean, I know quite a bit about hair transplants, so PRP is not really like a unique thing. So, but yeah, could work. What's the average recovery period? I mean, this has nothing to do with Vera Clinic, so there is really no reason for this to be in here. How much will a hair transplant cost? Of course, very good. And this is, of course, very relevant. The only thing is, I mean, what does it say here? The website is very clear, but it does not indicate their prices. Okay, so the answer here, I'm not really getting an answer to my question. It probably requires a bit more research and see, I mean, is there actually some information out there? Maybe in other sources, maybe other people have commented about it. I actually looked at Vera Clinic myself, and I saw that the prices there that they quote are on average $2,500. That's what they say for a normal price, which is quite high for Turkey, but very, very cheap compared to other countries, like especially the US or the UK. So this is the type of information that we want to see in here. So not a really good text. Again, here the same thing. You have way, way more keywords, obviously, that you're getting. So you have to use those naturally in your text and make sure that those work. And if there's problems in those texts with keywords, always flag it to your Elite Wordapper and they can fix those things. So this is what I want to go through today a bit. A couple more things. So new projects. We're starting building 2 new hair transplant sites every month, starting this Monday. So this is for people that actually want to become Elite Wordappers. So the first thing you need there is convince your Elite Wordapper, Linda, that you are perfect for this. And then we want to start new sites there, and we actually want to fast track some people as well there. So if you're good with all these things, you want to put in the time and effort to learn everything, then this is maybe something for you. To get you started, I mean, if you're joining this webinar live, please write us in the chat, ask for Linda, and Linda can give you the 8 reward points to start you on a blog post. Please, I mean, the examples I gave today, not really perfect. So you need to work on it a bit better if you want to be considered moving forward. And if you are doing a good job with the blog post, you will get 2 clinic reviews as well to prove yourself with, and then you can actually get invited on other projects to help Linda build her site and increase the budget that she can spend every month. These are really the things I wanted to go through today. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the chat or ask to be unmuted, like raise your hand, and then we can go through those as well. So if anyone has any questions. No questions, that's okay. So if you change your mind and you have questions, please ask them to Linda in the chat. She will be online later today. Otherwise, I wish you good luck with writing your first blog post. And please do impress us. And if you want to learn more about Wordapp and all the things you need to do to become an Elite Wordapper and actually run your own team and your own site with your own budget, please go to wordapp.com/courses, where you see a lot of information about how to build WordPress sites, how to do keyword research, how to include keywords in the text and all kinds of things like that. So I'm hoping to see you in one of those courses soon again as well. Thanks so much and have a very nice day. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Okay.